Hey guys, I'm Rich from NeoWin. Today we're unboxing Samsung's Galaxy Note 8, which was announced in New York City a couple of weeks ago, and it just arrived at my door. So this is essentially the successor to the Galaxy Note 5, which I have right here. Last year's Galaxy Note 7, I'm sure you've heard about it because you can't even go and bring it on an airplane because it had issues with exploding and catching fire. And then they did a recall and they sent out replacements, and those exploded and caught fire, and it was just a huge mess. And if you have a Galaxy Note 7, you can't even use it at this point due to software updates. So now we have the Note 8, and when they announced this thing, they were right up front with telling people like, yeah, we know we messed up, thanks for sticking with us and all that stuff. So I assume that this won't explode when I boot it up. They also sent me the new Gear VR, by the way, which supports USB-C. Because remember, Samsung was one of the last holdouts with micro USB. All right, as you can see, it's a very, very long. It's a long phone. The display has an 18 and a half by 9 aspect ratio, which is similar to the Galaxy S8. All right, we'll boot this up, and I'm sure it has a beautiful display because Samsung is really good with displays, and they're really good with cameras. And the camera, by the way, you can see it's a dual lens camera. One thing that really impressed me at the event is that this is I think they said 0.1 millimeters, so there's barely any camera bump, and you can see, wow, that booted up fast. You can see, like, on the Note 5, there's much more of a camera bump, and some people don't care. Some people put a case so you don't even see the camera bump, but I use my phones naked, and I appreciate the lack of one on here. So let's just, before we set this up, it's a SIM pin over here, charger, USB OTG, which it's essentially a USB Type A to Type C connector, which is pretty cool. Oh wow, and we have a Type C to micro USB connector so that you can, I guess, so you can use your old chargers and cables and stuff like that. And in here we have headphone jacks, headphones, AKG. We have Type A to Type C cable, and over here, I think this is, yeah, adapters for the headphones to fit your ears better. All right, so that's everything in the box, and let's take a look at the phone itself. All right, we're gonna set this up. Okay, so I set it to restore from a device. So you can see we have three different methods of biometric authentication. I'm not going to set all these up right now, but you see the fingerprint scanner is on the back right next to the camera. They told me, they're like, yeah, we listen to user feedback and we move the camera, because on the S8 it's also right next to the camera. And I looked at the guy, I'm like, did you? And he's like, yeah, see, it's a little more to the right. It feels like it's just kind of placed there just because just because there's a dual camera setup now. So that is one of the main features of this phone, is the dual camera. So all right, we're gonna set up Google Assistant. Yes, I'm in. All right. So, oh geez. All right. Well, we'll just leave it all for now. All right. So anyway, the dual camera, similar to the iPhone 7 Plus. Now you can see that while I'm filming this with an iPhone 7 Plus, the second lens should offer a 2x zoom. So I've always really enjoyed that feature of the iPhone. The ability to zoom in without losing quality is phenomenal. Alright, so I've pretty much just agreed to everything. But yeah, the display looks awesome. We can take off the little plastic cover here. Alright, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do any of this stuff. There's no app drawer by default. Maybe, yeah, if we swipe up, we get it. Which, some phones do that now. Yeah, the app drawer is a tricky thing. I'm not gonna get into it. But we also, obviously, we have the S Pen, which should be, yeah, right here. So if we pull this out, all right, we have new features. All right, live message. Live message is a cool feature because you can pick a photo, and I don't even know what's going to be on here. And then you could write on the photo and just save it as an animated GIF. Try drawing your own message. Hi, and then we say done. And now it's going to create a GIF, and you can send it to anybody. They don't have to have a Samsung phone or something, and it just works. So one thing is that you can do this on top of a photo. You cannot write on top of a video and get that animation, which I asked them about that. It wouldn't surprise me if they do it in a future software update. So not really any design changes on the S Pen. It's Wacom, which means there's no battery, which is great. So yeah, let's just put that back in there. I'm not going to try to put it in upside down. You might recall that with the Note 5, there was an issue with people putting the S Pen in upside down. It would get stuck in there. All right, so wow, that went to sleep pretty quick. Also, back to the biometric thing. People are having issues with the facial recognition, where you could sign in with a selfie. It's the same thing with the V30. There's an option in settings that it'll make it slower, but it's more secure. Alright, other than that, specs, Snapdragon 835, which is the same as the Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus. Like I said, though, it's one of the most powerful phones on the market because it has 6 gigs of RAM, which even a lot of the phones coming out now... Is this the Bixby button? I've heard of the Bixby... Oh, there it is, yeah. So anyway, a lot of the phones coming out now are still 4 gigs of RAM, so... You have the most powerful processor out there, and you also have 6 gigs of RAM, which is a lot of power. They didn't send me the Dex dock, which kind of allows you to use it like you would a desktop PC, hooking up an external monitor, mouse, and a keyboard. But, you know, hopefully I can check some of that stuff out. I assume that maybe you can use any dock with it, so I will try some of this stuff out. Alright, so next up, we're going to take a look at the new Gear VR. It comes with a controller. Let's just push this aside and back up on the camera a little bit. Alright, so I have the old Gear VR, which is not the newest old Gear VR. This is the one that I guess came out around the time of the Galaxy S7 and the Galaxy Note 5. It only supports micro USB, as I mentioned earlier. By the way, if you only came here for the phone, you can shut off this video, no problem, because I'm mainly going to focus on the Gear VR now. But if this one should now support both micro USB and USB Type-C devices. It should come with an adapter, all right, which I guess it would be similar to the adapter that we found in the box of the Note 8. Alright, here's the controller. I'm going to have to play with this more later, because the other one didn't come with a controller either. There's batteries in there too. Let's just pull all this stuff out. Straps, which the straps attach to the top and the sides, and it just obviously goes around your head. If I can reach the batteries, they're in there. Yeah, so it looks like we got 2 AAAs. Alright, here is the adapter, which is not exactly the same, but yeah, so this is micro USB, and it just seems to attach to the device itself. And yeah, so that's the new Gear VR. I like the black. Looks nice and black. All right, let's see if we can get this off. Yeah, there. Oh wow, the lenses seem to be a little bigger too, which we can kind of see that. So I'm guessing it has kind of a bigger field of view. So you can see USB Type-C connector is in there, and yeah. So if I do this, I should be able to get it out. Yeah, there it goes. It comes right off like that with a little switch, and then obviously I can add the micro USB adapter if I want to use an older phone like the Galaxy Note 5 that I have here. Alright, so I mean, apps for this, it's pretty simple. If you've never used Gear VR, I kind of recommend getting one. There's not a whole... I'm putting the wrong cover on this. There's not a whole lot that you can do with with the Gear VR, but it's not too expensive either, right? You're you know, you're spending like $900 on the Galaxy Note 8, and this adds a whole lot of functionality. You could watch 360-degree videos. I won't tell you the one thing that VR is best for, but you could probably figure it out. But I mean, games, just, I mean, it's something you won't use a lot, but it's like $100, or I mean, if it's more than $100, wait for Black Friday. You know what I'm saying? But and it's a pretty cool little device, and it's cheap. You stick your phone in there, and it just works off the phone's display. It's pretty cool. So here is the Galaxy Note 8 again. Damn, that is a long phone. But it feels comfortable to hold, though, I have to say. I do love that there's very little camera bump. And yeah, there is a headphone jack somewhere around here, right next to the USB Type-C port. If I can just focus the camera. There it goes. Yeah, Bixby button's over here, volume rocker, power button. Kind of bothers me that the Bixby button is where you would expect the power button to be. Although I guess I didn't really have trouble booting it up. But yeah, that's it for now. I'll have more on the Galaxy Note 8 as time progresses. And I'll have a review hopefully in a few weeks. Anyway, guys, that's it. I'm Rich from NeoWin. Have a great